Hi, this is George Alger, and welcome to another segment of Our Ventura TV. For today's topic, we're going to be speaking with the founder and race director of the Santa to the Sea Half Marathon. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you, George. I'm happy to be here.
All right, so Mike, you are involved with the Santa to the Sea Half Marathon, but what is it? You know, let's get to some real fundamental points to understood here.
Well, George, this has been a 10-year journey for me, starting in 2002 when I read a story in the Ventura County Star that they were looking for a new home for the big Santa up in Carpinteria at Santa Claus Lane. And one of the conditions that they wanted was they wanted to keep them on the 101 freeway. And they wanted to keep them in Santa Barbara, but there were no takers up there. So I called up the person that was in charge of relocating them, and I brought him down to Oxnard, and I showed him this little lot in Nyland Acres, and it was full of trash and dirt. There was nothing there, chain link fence. And he kind of looked at me and says, well, I'll get back to you. And about a week later, he called me and he said, okay, we're gonna give you the Santa statue. Now, they had to move him down here, and the former owner had to pay them to move him. And one of the funny stories about moving him down here is we had to design the route, and he was too high to go under most bridges. We had to design the route and submit it to Caltrans. So we figured out a way to get him there without going under any bridges. And we submitted the plans to the CHP, and they said, okay, now you have to go and measure every wire on your route. Now, do you have any idea how many overhead wires there are between? It took us a day and a half just to measure all the wires. But we got them safely to Ventura, and we had to get off on Main Street coming into Ventura, and we had to go underneath the 33 overpass. Now, on the truck, he was 6 inches too high. So we had to have a crane follow us. And when we got to the bridge, we picked the Santa Claus up off the truck, and by the way, he weighed 10 tons, and put him on little tiny dollies. And we had to hand push him underneath the bridge to get him underneath that bridge. And the fun part of it was there was an elementary school close by, and the whole school was out there watching us. So it was a fun journey.
Wow, that is memorable. Jeez. Yeah. So that inspired the half marathon? No,
not really. The Santa was in pretty bad shape, and I had just retired from construction, and I thought, well, this will be my little sideline project. So once we got him down here and we really inspected him, he needed a lot of work. So the most amazing thing happened. Every time I would be there and somebody would see that there was somebody there, they would stop by. As an example, 2 bricklayers pulled up one day and said, are you going to put bricks in this thing? And I go, yeah, we're going to make it look like he's coming out of a chimney. They said, well, we want to come and help. We think, you know, it's a good thing saving Santa, so we want to come and help. One day I was there, and a gentleman came up and said, is there going to be concrete in here? And I said, yeah, there's going to be a lot of concrete. He said, well, I'm going to donate the concrete. And I go, well, you don't have any idea how much concrete. He says, I don't care. I own the company, and I'm donating the concrete. I'm going to send a pumping truck out here to pump it, and I'm going to give you the workers to lay the concrete. So it just went on and on like that. Another example, Home Depot donated all the trees and plants that are there. The electricians union in Ventura came forward, and they did all the they bought all the supplies that we needed and sent journeymen and apprentices to do the work. So it was a great community effort. People just, and they all had a story about how either when they were a kid, their folks took them to see Santa, or they took their kids there. So there was a big interest in preserving them and keeping them in the area here.
Wow, that's a wonderful story.
Yeah. So after we had the grand opening on in the Thanksgiving weekend, and one of the newspaper reporters was there and asked me, well, what are you going to do now? And I really didn't have a plan. I didn't know what I was going to do. And you know, I started thinking about it, and I thought, well, what does Santa Claus do? I mean, really. He gives away toys to kids at Christmas time. So that year we started, we opened up Santa. I had about maybe 150 toys, and we gave them to the local kids because it's a pretty underprivileged area over there where he's at. And we start giving toys away. Well, you know, the word gets out, you're giving free toys away, so the next year there was more kids there. And we were doing pretty good, but I was always nervous that we were going to run out of toys and I'd have to turn away a kid. And I never wanted to have to do that. So this idea popped into my head, Santa to the Sea half marathon. And the concept of it is, besides paying an entry fee, all the runners, we ask them to donate a toy. So this year we had 2,600 runners, almost 700 runners. They all donated a toy. As you can see, we gave away a lot of toys this year.
Wow, that is fabulous. Okay, so that covers, seems like most of the history. Is there anything else you want to say about how it evolved?
No, I don't. I think that pretty much covers it. Yeah, you're right. I would kind of like to talk about some of the stuff that we do through Santa to the Sea, because we are a nonprofit. One of the first things I did when I started this race was form a nonprofit. Good. And so after our second year, we started the Santa to the Sea Scholarship Fund. And we take $5 of each entry fee and we put it into the fund. And for 2012, we did 50 scholarships, $500 scholarships. We did 36 the year before, 30 the year before that, and 9 our first year. So we are now, through the Oxnard College Foundation, the biggest donator of scholarships for Oxnard College.
Wow, another great thing. Is there more?
There is more. We, in Nyland Acres there, we do a food outreach. We've partnered with Food Share, and twice a month I have a team of volunteers that go to Food Share and get a van full of food and diapers. There's some families there that have real young kids. And we do an outreach and we provide people in the community with fresh vegetables, baked goods, you know, the stuff that you get from Food Share. We also, last year I started something new and I called it the Neighborhood Challenge. And we recruited 5 schools that are either right on our route or real close to it. And I told them, do whatever you can to impress the runners when they run by. Because on the day of the race, we're going to send out an online survey to all our runners, and they get to vote on which school impressed them the most. And there's cash prizes involved. The winning school got $2,000, second place got $1,000, third place $500, and then 2 runners up of $250 each.
Wow, now all of these prizes, all the toys, this comes from the entrance fees for the runners?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have a big toy giveaway in front of Santa the week after the race. We block off the street and we give away toys. This year we gave toys to the Oxnard cops and tots, I think it is. And I gave them a whole truckload of toys, and they put them in the car when they go out before Christmas and they're doing their route. If they see a kid, they'll, you know, give them a toy, which makes good community relations.
Yeah.
Another thing that we do for our toy giveaway, we partnered with the CHP, the Sheriff's Department, the Oxnard Police Department, the Oxnard Fire Department, and County Fire Department. And they all come out on the day of our toy giveaway, and they stand on the front line, and they're the ones that are actually handing the kids the toys. I think that's a good synergy for a little kid to look up and, you know, get good positive feelings with our law enforcement and fire departments. And
this is all inspired by you?
All inspired by me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Santa, though. Santa's my you know, I tell you, people that don't believe in Santa Claus don't know what they're missing.
Well, this is a lot that you're contributing to the community. Is this something that you kind of envisioned earlier in your life, or it just was something that occurred to you?
If somebody would have told me I was going to be doing this, you know, 10 years ago, I would have told them they were crazy, but I love it. It's, you know, I've met so many great people, and we've been able to help so many people that it's just been very rewarding for me, very personally rewarding. And I'll give you a little story. When we give our scholarships away, we ask all the winners to put their name in a hat, and we draw one out. And I buy, through Santa to the Sea, a brand new laptop and a carrying case, you know, for the students. And we had a winner this year, and it was a young Hispanic girl. She was just 19 years old, just starting in college. And when she came up to get the computer, the tears were just, her whole face was just covered, they were running down her face. And her first words to me were, "I never dreamed that I would get my own computer." Now, that's why I do all this, for moments just like that.
That's fantastic. Well, Mike, we're kind of winding down here. I guess I do want to mention, or at least ask, do you need volunteers?
We can always use volunteers.
Okay, so what are some of the things that volunteers do?
Well, we have volunteers at water stations. We have 8 water stations along the course. We have volunteers that do, we call them traffic marshals, course marshals, and they're at the minor intersections, like a T intersection, and if there's runners coming by, they just hold the traffic up until there's an opening, and then they let them go. We also have volunteers at our finish line and at our start line.
Great. Okay, so if someone was interested in volunteering or interested in finding out more, where could they go?
You can go to our website. It's www.santatothesea.com. We have a section there for volunteers. We have a volunteer module. You can click on that, and you can submit your name, and in some instances, you can choose your job that you want to do.
Great. And before we wrap up, is there any final message or summating message you'd like to convey to the viewers?
Well, I'd like to I'd like to invite everyone to come out to do Santa to the Sea. It's a fun thing. Another thing I didn't mention is we have a costume contest that we give prizes for. People dress up. It's a good way to kick off the holidays. We have music all along the course. The 5K, people walk it. It's just fun. They bring their dogs. Some of them bring their dogs, push strollers with babies in them. It's just a fun family-oriented event that benefits a lot of people in Ventura County.
Great. Well, Mike, thanks very much for coming by.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it, George.
So this is George ALGER signing off for this segment of Our Ventura TV. Until we meet again.